Hello and welcome to another episode of the Progressive Queens. You're noticing something right out the bat. I am not joined by the panelists today because I decided to do this show solo. It'll be the same format, except for we won't have a second topic. We'll just have me kind of chopping it up with you all here. I'm glad you all could join me. So, again, this is the Progressive Queens, but today it's going to just be the Progressive Queen singular because, again, I am going to be solo for the next two episodes. But don't worry, the panelists will all be back in 2 weeks from today, which this tape's on Saturday, but you see this show on Thursday. And I wanted to kick it right off by talking about a couple of things today. Um, George Floyd's murder got sentenced 22 years in prison, or 22.5 years. And I know people are saying, the sentencing was appropriate, et cetera, et cetera. To me, this should have been just a simple, um, it should have been more than manslaughter. In other words, I think, his in when he put his knee on George Floyd's neck, that to me turned into murder because he put his knee um, on George Floyd's neck for 9 minutes. Well, after 3 minutes, he was already dead. So I don't know, and I'm not a lawyer. I don't go to law school, so we'll pass past that. But to me, I'm always thinking, why wasn't that a murder charge? But even a second degree murder charge would have been appropriate. But they didn't go for that. They went for the route that they went. Um, for some reason, the judge sentenced to 22 years, 22.5. And again, if you think about it, if he gets like halftime off for good behavior, he may end up serving 12, maybe 13 years. And I know no sentence is going to be bringing Mr. Floyd back, but this whole ruling just seems so inappropriate to me. It was just a slap on the wrist because he's going to get time off. They're probably going to appeal. And everyone's like, oh, well, he has federal charges. But who's to say that he's going to get convicted on those? I don't know what the max are in that sense, but it just seems so inappropriate for him to get just 22.5 years. Why not sentence him to the whole 30? Even the 30, of course, wouldn't have been enough to bring Mr. Floyd back, but still, this just seems like another police officer gets away with beating another black person and killing another black person in this sense. And it just doesn't seem appropriate. He should be in jail for the rest of his life. If it were me bringing charges. But again, who's to say that he won't appeal this? I'm pretty sure they will. I'm thinking that they have the rights to appeal. I'm pretty sure of it. I'll look that up later. But it was just very upsetting. I thought I would feel a little bit better when I heard it, but I didn't. Um, I don't know what the judge was talking about. All that stuff he was saying, it didn't even mean anything. It's like, and can can we address the Karen in the room, George Floyd's murderer's mother? Okay, I don't know what she was thinking. First of all, she didn't offer any type of condolences to the family. Nothing. She just kept, those crocodile tears that she had didn't move me. I'm like, sit down. Your son's a murderer. Get over it. He's going to jail or prison. He's going to prison now. And it amazed me that she just was so out of touch. I mean, she didn't mention anything about the family. She didn't mention anything about, and I don't want to call her a baby, but George Floyd's daughter that did her part on the video that was shown. Just nothing. just just no type of acknowledgement, no type of remorse. And then the murderer himself got up and then he didn't show any type of remorse. He didn't, he offered a very, very weak my condolences to the family, but that that was just so inappropriate, out of order. I don't know why his attorney even allowed him to speak. If I were that attorney, I'd have said, look, don't say anything, don't do anything. And did you all catch where he said there's going to be evidence coming out later? What evidence is he talking about? You put your knee on a man's neck, and that knee killed him. I don't know what type of evidence it is that he's talking about. This guy is completely delusional. There's no evidence that he's talking about, and he's still going to be in prison. So I was just like, just shut up. Just don't say anything. Don't do anything. Just take your sentence, appeal, and then move on. But that whole fake apology thing was just ridiculously phony. I could not sit there and watch it. Um, so that's what I wanted to kind of kick it off with. And since, of course, I don't have um, people to bounce off with, I'm moving on to the next topic. Um, there's apparently a deal that has went down between the Democrats and the Republicans in terms of the filibuster. And again, I don't understand the Democratic Party. I don't understand this whole need for this bipartisanship when Mitch McConnell has told you any bill that Biden offers, they're going to vote against it. Why are you continually reaching out to this party that says that they will not vote for your things? Stop it. Just stop trying to be bipartisan. Let them vote against everything. And then you take that to the voters in their area and say, look, they voted against this. This whole idea of bipartisanship is really starting to annoy me. Just really, 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 really annoying me because I don't understand it. You have maybe maybe a year and a half left. This was just 2021. Some elections are going to be held in 2022. Most presidents don't get to keep, they either lose the House or they lose the Senate. But this guy, Biden, he's in danger of losing both. Um, just not, I can't understand it. You have a year and a couple of months to get what you're wanting passed, and you've heard them say, oh, we're not going to vote for it. But yet and still you're still talking about bipartisanship, and I literally don't understand it. I want somebody to really sit me down and explain to me why is it that the Democratic Party continues to talk about this whole idea of patriotism, not patriotism. Sorry, that's a subject coming up later. This whole idea of bipartisanship. It bipartisanship really shouldn't even exist in government. One, because we only have one party. It's the party of duopoly. The Democrats and Republicans are exactly the same. So this whole idea of bipartisanship is crap in the first place. Um, and it, it's just, I'm running out of words because it's so frustrating to watch this. I mean, these people, they campaign so hard. Like, when we get there, we're going to do this, and this. What have they actually done? What one thing have they done? Sure, they got the shots in the arm, but they didn't develop that vaccine. So vaccines, plural. So I don't even give them that because um, the rollout of having 70% of Americans immunized by July 4th, that's not going to be met. No, there's no way. Because you still have people not wanting to take the vaccine. There's no relief of student loan debt, which you don't even need congressional approval or senatorial approval to do. You just sign your name and that's it. the Medicare eligibility still hasn't been lowered, although we definitely need single payer health care. Um, the big one, the $2,000 checks that never came. Let's and there's no talks of other stimulus going. And I know somebody's gonna say, well, they're doing the tax credits for people with children. But what about the people that adults that don't have children or their children are grown? They're not gonna get any type of relief, and they're struggling also. So that I just don't see the Democrats holding on to either the House or the Senate. And I think it's going to be, I don't see them winning the presidency either because they've done so little. And the little they've done is either keeping Trump's old policies and trying to cover it up, or just simply going back on everything they promised. And I know politicians make promises, and they should probably stop doing that. But if you know that you're not going to do something, don't say it. I don't think they had any idea that they were going to win the Senate. I pretty much figured they thought, okay, we'll have the Republican Party to blame when things go bad because um, that's been their model of operation for at least 4 or 5 years, maybe longer. That's the whole premise that they run. The Republicans stopped us. We wanted this bill, but they won't cooperate. Well, now you have a 50-50 um, Senate, and now you have these two renegade senators who you won't push. You won't go back to their hometowns and say, hey, people, this person just voted against a $15 minimum wage. That tells me you probably did not want it in the first place. Stop campaigning on things that you don't want. But again, they're only doing this because the progressive message is getting across. People are for a $15 wage minimum. Of course, I've said on this show many times, many times, many times, the minimum wage should be at least, I say, 35. The reason I say 35 is you can't live off of $15. You just can't. You have rent, you have food, clothing, hygiene. You have all of those things that you have to take care of, and there's no health care, so that cost is coming out of that check, and you have to pay taxes. So that 15 really to me never seemed right, but let's just call it a compromise and say, okay, we can get 15 now, work for something later. But once that vote went away, have you advocated it for returning? No, I haven't heard anything. I've heard the progressives raise the point, but has there been any vote on it? Has there been any public debate on it? Has there been any public discourse on it? No. So these politicians who are falsifying that they are somehow progressive, we just need to stop. Look at their record. Look at Biden's record. He's not progressive. Simple. Just look at the record. No, I think what could happen though is if, because I guess if it was a holiday, would it be a federal holiday and just federal employees get it off? Or would states have to enact it? Because if states had to enact it, I don't see this working. I don't see Indiana having a voter holiday where we all just get it off. I don't see it. But who knows? I mean, you have what? Only 22, you got 50 states, and 22 of those are Democrats. So that leaves like what, 38? I can't add. My math is bad. So if you get 38 Republican states and they don't observe the holiday, what's the point of the holiday? So talk me out of it. But that's the only thing that I think of is like how, not practice, I hate to use the word practice, but I wanted to get some time in by myself because Tracy Media is launching a new show called Thursdays with Tracy. So you'll see me by myself on Thursdays. I hope you watch. It'll be live on YouTube. It'll be a little bit different. We'll still talk politics, but it'll be a whole lot of more pop culture things that are embedded into the show, which we keep out of this show and we keep out of our other shows. So I want you all to watch it. It'll start July. Let me get my calendar out so I can tell you all because I got it marked on my calendar. It'll start July the something something. Da, 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 da. I'm looking at my calendar. So it's going to start. I know it's in July. It's going to be July the 8th. I was going to do it every day, but then I start thinking, oh no, I'm not going to do this no every day. I need my sleep. So it'll be every Thursday live on YouTube at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The link will be in the description. Like I said, my other show, Tracy Takes On, is also on hiatus for the next 2 weeks. I'll be there solo too, so you'll get to hear more of me. I'm so happy you all joined me for this. There's a major announcement coming up, and it's not bad news. It's just a shift that I'll be doing here, but you'll see that in another video I'm about to do in a few minutes. So I thank you for joining me for this. I didn't get to everything that I wanted to, but like I said, next week I'm probably going to talk about patriotism a whole lot and get a little bit deeper into that. But I want to gather my thoughts so I'm not struggling to talk like I did today. But thank you all so much for joining me. And please remember to like, share, subscribe, and support us on the Patreons. I'm Tracy with the Progressive Queens, but I'm solo today. But like I said, the panel will be back in 2 weeks. July the 12th we'll tape, and then we'll just pick it up from there. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. Look for all the links in the description. Bye bye.